Hi, it's Dan Williamson again, your host for Coach Danalytics, preparing you for the game of life. In today's episode, we're going to be covering my daily habits for success. As I travel the country, training salespeople, realtors, I've developed an entire course on exactly what salespeople should do to be successful. This course, this training has helped thousands of people double, triple, or even quadruple their sales. I believe it's the only training a salesperson needs to be successful. Can't wait to share these secrets with you on today's episode. So excited to share my daily habits of success with you today in Coach Danalytics. I want to go step by step and tell you, as I travel the country, I kind of mastered this business plan of how to help realtors in particular be successful, but it works for any type of sales. So the first thing I would say is the reason why usually when people call me in, it's because they're struggling with their sales. So I would say the number one reason salespeople struggle is they don't have a great plan, right? So without a plan to be successful, it's kind of hard to succeed. You wouldn't go, if you were in the military, you wouldn't go into battle without a plan. When I was in the military, we had an actual battle plan, 6-7 hours in a pre-briefing before we did any exercise. I'm a high school basketball coach. You should see the game plans we come up with. 3 is the shooter, 1 is the dribbler. Like, we have a plan when we go into the game. So it surprises me quite a bit as I go through the country how people seem to sell homes or sell cars or sell insurance, and they have no training whatsoever in how to be successful. So this created a need for this training, and I think it starts with having a good business plan. The other thing that shocks me and surprised me to learn was that the average salesperson only spends about 2 hours a day on their job, right? That is crazy to me that you only spend 2.5 hours a day at your craft. Well, no wonder you're not selling. No wonder your sales are low. No wonder you're not making any money. Could you work at any other job and only work for 2 hours of that day? You'd lose your job, right? Because you wouldn't be productive. It goes back to our last podcast where we talked about being a fanatic about your business, being a fanatic about your success. Without that drive to be the best, sales is very difficult. This is a dog's life. Like, you've got to get after it. You've got to be willing to hunt for your own food. That's why having a plan to help you will really, really go a long way to getting your sales to where you want them to be in 2025. So let's start with this. Like, what do we do every single day? What does Dan Williamson do every single day to be successful? Well, I believe, and I know this to be true, is everybody's looking for the magical fairy dust. Everybody's looking, especially in the real estate world, they're looking to the pay for leads system. Everybody wants a broker that's going to pay for leads. This is a con. Then you think you're dependent upon that broker. It's still give them a fish thing, right? You give them a fish, you feed them forever. You teach them how to fish, and they can take care of themselves. So I'm here to teach you how to fish today. So you can get 20 to 30 leads yourself. It's about relationships, and it's about how many people you can touch a day. That's the truth about any sales. You want your sales to double the amount of people you touch each day. You want your sales to triple the amount of people that you touch each day. Sales is a touch business, right? It's a contact sport. Talk to more people, get more sales. Do less, stay in bed, get less sales. It really is that simple, right? So ram up, stop looking for the magical fairy dust. The magical fairy dust is hard work, discipline, and having a detailed plan. So this is what I do every single day. I have a list of my daily habits. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to hit my sphere, right? I'm going to do that once a month for everyone in my contacts, right? They're going to get one message from me a month. Now, for most salespeople, they have what we call a CRM. That CRM will send out a message. I don't like that per se, because to me, it's about relationships. I want to build relationships. I want to be a light in their life in any way I can. And that's true in any part of my business. I want to move any relationship forward, business, personal. I want to be a light in everyone's life. But I also don't want to be annoying. You ever have that salesperson where every time they contact you, all they want to do is talk about the product that they're selling? I don't want to be that guy, right? I want to be their friend and the realtor for the rest of their life. If I'm a part of their life, the sales will come, right? And part of that is building relationships. If they're my client, they're my friend, they invite me to a party, I'm coming to the party. They invite me to their 5-year-old birthday party, I'm coming, I'm bringing them a PlayStation 5. I'm going to be their realtor, their friend, and their light for the rest of their life. And that's the only way to run your business. You got to be a fanatic, and you got to be willing to be a part of their life for the rest of their life. I want to be the realtor to the day I die, right? So every month, everybody gets one message. I do it like this. The first day of the month, everybody with an A in their name, last name starts with A, they all get one message from me. Hey, how are you? How's your daughter? I saw your son was, trying out for the baseball team. Did he make it? Getting his schedule. I saw your daughter was trying out for the play, Shakespeare. I hope she gets it. A part of their lives, caring about people. You want them to care about you, you've got to care about them. That naturally leads to how's your business going? Oh, business is good or business is slow. Please refer me to anybody buying or selling in real estate. The other part is you got to do a great job, right? So you've got to know your job, be competent, be good at your job. That's a whole nother training. 93% of people are completely incompetent. Becoming competent is why you need Danalytics the most. Assuming you're doing a great job, you're hitting people every day, and they will refer you because you did a great job. So the second day of the month, the B's get a message, then the C's, then the D's. So everybody in my possible contacts gets one message a day. Now, probably each person, that's 200-300 people in my phone, in my email with the last name A, B, or C. So I'm touching loosely 200-300 people a day in one message. Boom, there it is. All right, and that's not a whole lot of my time, but I want it to be heartfelt and personal because, again, it's about relationships. The second thing I do is the most difficult thing to get any salesperson to do. It's hand out cards. And I know a lot of people say that, everybody says that. Yeah, but do you actually do it? I will promise you this, right? When I first got started in the business, I handed out 25 cards a day. 25 cards a day, 4 days a week, right? Monday through Thursday. That was 100 cards a week, 400 a month. And my sales skyrocketed, right? Wrap your head around that. If you're touching a couple hundred people a day with Contact Your Sphere and then you're handing out 25 cards, even if it's 10 cards, right? That's 50 a week if you do it Monday to Friday. That's 200 a month. Even if it's 5 cards, make a commitment to yourself that you're going to go out and talk to people each day. Now, 25 cards, 100 a week. I did it Monday, Thursday. That led to 400 contacts a month. Now, I don't care how unlikable you are. You would have to be the most unlikable human being on planet Earth to not generate 3 sales a month, whether it's cars, real estate, insurance, if you hand out that many cards. Well, I'm afraid to talk to people. Okay, well, listen, this may not be the business for you then, right? Sales may not be for you if you can't walk up to somebody and say, I'm the very best at what I do. Here's my card. The truth is this, if you don't have enough confidence in you, how are they going to have no confidence in you? If they're buying a car, $40,000, $50,000 a year, they're buying $1 million home. For most people, it's the biggest purchase of their lifetime. If you don't have enough confidence to walk up to them and say, I'm the very best at what I do, man, you're going to really struggle. If you don't have that confidence, where do you get it? You get it through competence. You get it through training. You get it through development. You get it through listening to podcasts. You get it from experience, right? You get what you need and you grow in the business so you have the answer to questions. For me, we provide all our realtors with a role player training in the morning, every morning for an hour on our website where they can go in and practice speaking to people, speaking to buyers, sellers. But for me, I would practice in the mirror. I'd get on my car and I'd just practice. Hey, my name's Dan Williamson. I'm a really good realtor in the area. I'm a bulldog. I'm the best at what I do. You can't trust just anybody to sell $1 million house. I'm the guy you want protecting your best interest. Give me a call. And then on my card, it always says, name you can trust, sales record speaks for itself. So what I've done is I've introduced myself. I've told them I'm very good at what I do. I've shown confidence. And my card says, name you can trust. Sales record speaks for itself. Says I'm an honest, trustworthy guy, and I'm a bulldog salesman, right? That usually is enough to have people come back to me. And I tell you, I've had so many people come back to me just from handing them a card. So one time I was training a brand new realtor, and we got in the car. We're at Wawa, a big convenience store here on the East Coast. For those of you who don't know, it's like a 7-Eleven. Guy wakes up one day and he goes, hey, listen, I'm going to put a deli in this 7-Eleven and I'm going to make it light. It lights everywhere. It's going to be bright. And it took off, probably the most popular convenience store in the world right now. Everybody's a better person at Wawa. You walk in, everybody holds the door. The guy's genius. It's about culture. Anyway, that's what Wawa is. The guy's a brilliant businessman. You're a better person of yourself. You're a better version of yourself when you're at Wawa. My point is, here we go. So we walked out of Wawa. Kid says, do you think that person's going to call you? I looked at the kid that I handed the card to. I looked at the kid and I said, hey, listen, I know one thing's for sure. They're not going to call me if I didn't hand them the card. They're not going to fall out of the sky and say, hey, listen, I'm going to call this guy to buy or sell their house, right? So the truth is, the more people you touch, the more people will use you. The number one thing I can't get realtors to do is hand out their card. We do a business plan. I go back in 6 months. If they follow our habits, their sales skyrocket. I go back in 6 months, they're still not selling. How many cards? Oh, I handed out 2 and then I stopped. Listen, you got to find some confidence. You got to find some confidence to succeed in this business. You got to be a bulldog, right? The third thing I do every day is using your social media. The truth is social media is such a huge part of a salesperson's success, right? So what I try to do is I try to message 4 times a day. I start my day every day with a thankful message on my social media. And I don't have a business social media. You know, people don't go to websites. That's the truth. Websites are dead. It's over. It's all social media now. You can pay a lot of money, have a bougie website. No one's ever going to it, right? My social media is a combination of who I am. This is who I am. I'm a fanatic. I'm not ashamed of it. I'm a salesman. I'm a leader. I'm a basketball coach. You go to my social media. It's a one-stop shop, right? So I try to do 4 messages a day. First message is a thankful for my life, excited about my life, positivity, and I want to share every win. I want to share every win on social media. I want the world to see what I'm doing. I want the world to see that I'm a fanatic. I want the world to see my success. I want the world to see that I care about people, right? That I'm a genuine guy and that I'm selling a ton of homes, that I'm the guy that they should be talking to if they're looking to buy or sell a home, right? It gets people excited. So I'm doing that every day. The next thing I'm doing is I'm sharing love. I'm sharing love all the time on social media. In a world of darkness and who can put who down the best, I want to be a light. So every day I'm constantly messaging people, spreading love, spreading support. I love that because what that does is that makes them want to support me and want to help me be successful. When I share a new business and say, listen, I'm so excited for my friend. He just opened this deli, on Hartford Road. You think he's not going to share my stuff? For real estate? Of course they are. Right? So if you want people to brag about you and be a brand advocate for you and share your business and brag about you, you've got to be willing to share their business. The other thing is, in this messed up world of social media friendship, 7 likes changes the way a person feels about you. So if all you did was like 7 other posts, the way they feel about you changed, right? A study they did at Harvard showed that the way a person feels about you changes just from social media likes, which is disgusting and sad. But the truth is, if you're a good digital citizen, that your overall perception, the overall feeling about you will grow. The next thing I'm doing is I'm adding people on my social media every single day. Every single day I'm adding 20, 30, 40 people on my social media because when I share a message, I want the world to hear it. I want as many successful people. I want as many people to see me in a positive light. I want as many people to know my name. Again, how many people can you touch a day? If you're clicking, sending something out on social media and you're hitting 50 people, that's not enough. You want to hit 10,000, 15,000. Again, biggest trick of sales. The more people you touch, the more sales you will get. It's guaranteed. It's all hard work, right? And then the last thing I do at the end of the day is I post messages that will draw you back to me in my funnels, draw you back to my page to look at homes, draw you back to me as a realtor. I'll post things like, what's stopping you from buying a home today? Well, I can't get approved. Well, let me hook you up with one of my lenders. I don't have the 20% down. You don't need 20% down. You could buy a house with 0 today. There's grants that'll give you money. Oh, I didn't know that. Well, let's get looking, right? So I post messages, if you could buy your dream home today, what would it look like? Oh, it would be by the water, but I can only afford this much. I start sending them properties by the water this much. So I'm strategically placing messages to start a conversation about real estate. Because again, I want to touch the most people a day, right? If that's all you did, it was hand out cards each day, contact your sphere and was good on your social media, right? That's about a realtor's day, most salespeople's day, because it's only 2.5 hours. If that's all you did a day, you would probably generate $60,000 to $100,000 a year in income just on sales alone. But why would you stop there? So that's what I do each day. But then what I found is people have niches, right? And I like that. They have niches in their sales. I'm the condo king. I only work with first-time buyers. I specialize in historic homes or horse farms. I get all that. And niches can work. But for me, I want to make it rain. I want to get as many leads, as many people from as many different places as possible, right? So I break it down into theme days so I never get bored. So every day is different. So Mondays were always my open house days, right? So on Mondays, I do an open house on any house that I have listing. That Sunday, I'll do an open house. And at these open house, man, I'm throwing a party. I got my girl from Flip and Sip there. She's making drinks. She's playing the piano. I mean, my open houses are bougie. I'm going to go to the neighborhood. I'm going to hand out cards. Hey, I'm doing an open house down here on, 23 Main Street. I'm handing out cards to everyone in the neighborhood. Statistical fact, When one home sells, there's another home in a 1 mile radius almost guaranteed to sell and list within the next week. It's you go through neighborhoods, you'll see 5 or 6 in a row. It's like a domino effect. I don't know why. All right, but I'll pick up leads that way. My open houses are incredible. People come to my open houses, they sign in, and then they're my client for life. If they don't have a realtor, I'm going to start sending them homes exactly like the home that they just saw until I sell them a home. I generate a ton of my business from open houses. Now, I'm going to look sharp. I'm going to be well-spoken. I'm going to do my job. I'm going to know everything about the house I'm selling. It's going to look spectacular. I'm going to have balloons. It's a party. Anybody that comes to an open house is going to be like, I wish I hired that guy to sell my house. So it's building my brand. It's building my credibility. And for that further, when I list a home, the pictures are going to be gorgeous. The marketing is going to be first rate. When anybody looks me up, they see quality. And that's how you build a brand. Consistent quality, consistent energy, you build your brand. But those open houses have been spectacular for me throughout my career. But one of the things I do, not a lot of people do, is I actually walk that neighborhood around the open house, handing out cards, getting to know the neighborhood, right? It's a big, big tip for success. All right. And I also market my open houses and I encourage people to come. Again, if I get 20, 30 people at open house, 10 or 15 are going to end up being my client, right? What if I don't have any open houses? Well, that's a great idea. You know, you're just starting out, your sales are weak, maybe you don't have listings. How do you get open houses? You can ask people in your brokerage, can I list your open house? I have a realtor that was struggling in another state. He was in Maryland. Great guy, brilliant guy. His entire business plan is he started reaching out to people with $750 million homes and begging them to do an open house. He does a great job. It's incredible. Now, we know 93% of people are genuinely lazy, so they don't want to do an open house, right? Most realtors are lazy, right? Just talk to them. They'll show you, right? If you want to be a go-getter, they're going to let you do open houses. And that's a way you can pick up open houses, pick up clients, and get your business going. And now this agent down in Maryland is one of my best agents in the world. He's consistently closing $1 million deals, and he built his whole business plan around messaging people and doing open houses for them on their listing. He grabs the client and he rock and rolls. Very proud of him and all his success. He deserves it. The next thing you can do, I learned this from Grant Cardone. The next thing you can do is you can post the nicest open houses off of Zillow, off of Realtor, in your social media each day. And just say, hey, open house this Saturday. Here's a list of open houses in the area. If any of these homes speak to you, please call me, Dan Williamson. I will show up and protect your interests. That listing agent is there to protect the seller. Who's going to protect you? Dan Williamson, that's who. And I've picked up so many buyers like that across the country. So many buyers. I posted one beach house and I was like, listen, if your wife has been hounding you about buying the perfect beach house, doesn't she deserve it, right? Isn't this the time? Is your silver anniversary coming? Let's go take a look at this beautiful beach house. Guy calls me up, says, yeah, man, wife's been asking me for a beach house for a long time. She put me through medical school. She's the rock of our family. I want to buy her this house as our anniversary gift. He put in a $1.5 million offer. We got it accepted. It was capped, but I think I made $35,000, $40,000. It was a capped commission. But you're talking maybe, let's say, $30,000 commission for a 15-second post I put on social media. I hate to say it's that easy, but it is that easy, right? It's getting off your butt and actually doing something, having a plan and executing it. So I share the nicest open houses in my community, homes that I know people will want to see, and I ask them if I could please take them to the open house and represent them. Now, do they always buy? Of course not. But who's going to show up looking sharp, full of knowledge, and be amazing? I am. And then who's going to be their realtor for the rest of their life? I am. Easy way to build your business. Tuesdays were always my for sale by owner and expired days. So on Tuesdays, I was going to go right after for sale by owner. For sale by owners have always been really easy for me. If I called 200 for sale by owners, I'd probably get 50 of them to list with me. It always comes down to this. They're cheap. They think they can do it themselves. You have to create doubt that they can sell the house themselves. Do you know only 3% of homes listed by an owner actually sell? Did you know that the average home sold by a realtor goes for $30,000 more than a home for sale by owner, right? The reasons for this simply is they don't have the tools to generate the marketing, the amount of offers that they can get by working with a realtor. They just don't. You don't insult them. You're probably brilliant at your job, but I'm pretty good at mine. The fact is I can get 20, 30, 40, 50 people looking at this property daily on social media through all my marketing teams and all my marketing techniques through the MLS, and you just don't have that capability. So you create doubt. And even if you could sell a home, Mr. or Mrs. So-and-so, who's going to handle the appraisal? Who's going to handle, repairs? Who's going to handle the deed, the title? The truth is you need me. You need a professional. Even if you get a buyer, how are you going to keep the deal together? The hardest thing I do is keep my deals together. So now you've created doubt that they can do it themselves. Then you show your value. If repairs come up, I've got contractors, and I do, that work for us, that can go over and get repairs done cheaply, that will do repairs for you. I'll handle appraisal. I was like, let me do this, right? So after I show my value, I'll offer a value. I'll say, listen, let me do a CRM. Let me call my people. I'll do a CRM so I know exactly what the house is worth. That way you at least know, if you've listed the home at the right price. Can I do that for you? I want to help you. Now, if they're cheap, they're not going to turn down a value. They usually will say yes. All right, you can come to the property and show me how much the house is really worth. Every single time a person has agreed to meet with me, I have gotten the listing. Not some, not 90%, not 80%. Every single time a person has agreed to meet with me with an analysis of what the home is worth, they have always listed the property with me because they have agreed at that point that they need me. Not some of the time, not half the time, not most of the time. Anytime that I have met a person at the property, right, with a little mini, blueprint of what the home is worth, they've always listed with me because they know they need me at that point. Expireds are the same way. I'll scale through expireds. I'll see homes that were listed that didn't sell. I'll reach out to that person and say, hey, listen, you gave this realtor a chance. Why not give me a chance? Here are the things that I will do to sell the home. Here's the way that I show value. Here's the things that I do better than anybody else. What do you do better than anybody else? All right. For me, it's an easy answer. I market better. I'm an absolute savage for my marketing, right? I'm gonna do great pictures. Half these real estate pictures with their phones, I don't know how they call themselves professionals. I'm gonna have great pictures. I'm gonna have a video with music. I'm gonna do a phenomenal open house. I'm gonna beat the beaten path until I find a buyer for the house, right? A lot of times that works for me. I end up getting the expireds. Sometimes I gotta take a little hit in commission, list it a little bit less, but expireds have been pretty good to my career. For sale by owners have been phenomenal. Sometimes we have a contest in our office, and I'll be like, let's all call for sale by owners. The first one to do it, gets, $200 or whatever. Very seldom does someone get one before I do. I'm very, very good at for sale by owners. The next thing I do, Wednesdays, I would always focus on first-time buyers, right? I would hit the major 4 apartment buildings in my area. Why would I do that? Well, I partner with a lender, send out first-time buyer information. Why would I do that? Well, these people, the average person in America only stays in an apartment 2.1 years, right? They're paying rent. They've got credit. They're going to have babies. They're going to do things. Their families are going to grow, and they're going to want out of that apartment. So I'll send first-time buyers information. Hey, do you realize if you're paying $3,000 a month for this apartment, that's $36,000 a year you're wasting on a property that will never be yours? Hey, did you realize that there's grants in our county for $25,000 down for first-time buyers? Why would you be renting when you can buy? So I'll plethora of those apartment buildings with first-time buyer information. Those are better than any leads you can buy. Those are young people with good jobs, good credit, ready to go. And then I'll take it a step further. On Wednesdays, I will actually go and walk those apartment complexes, hand out cards, go to the dog park. Hey, listen, I got that dad vibe now. I'm almost 50. Let me protect you. Let me be a dad and protect you through this process. My first car, I paid 24% interest. I don't want to see you get ripped off. Let me help you. I'm here to help you. And I mean it. I love people. I want to help them. Here's the good news with these young people, these millennials today. No offense, millennials. I love you. But you were never, ever taught delayed gratification. The average millennial is going to buy 5.2 houses in their lifetime, right? They're always looking for the next house. They're always looking for the next thing. That's beautiful. If you can build your business around millennials, man, you're in great shape. So I love apartments and I love first-time buyers. So Wednesdays, those apartments have always been really good to me. That's always been a wonderful strategy. Again, you see what I'm doing? I'm reaching so many people a week in so many different ways. It's impossible for me not to sell. It's impossible for me not to have unbelievable success in sales because it's how many people you can touch. And I'm touching so many people a week. It's impossible for me not to sell. I've taken the guesswork out. Thursdays, this is a great day. Thursdays, I win my neighborhood. Thursdays, I directly target the neighborhood I live. Now I live in a nice community, 300 homes, between 5 and 600,000, 2 townhome communities at the end of our community with maybe 50, 60, 100 townhomes in the $300,000 range. If I just win my neighborhood, I'm in great shape. They already know me, like me. They see me, they see me walking the dogs. They see me with my kids. They already see me in a positive light. I make sure they see some EXP stuff in my yard so they know I'm a realtor. I'll do things like I'll have, ice cream Saturdays. Everybody's welcome. Come to the ice cream truck. It's on me. While they're there, I'm handing out cards. Halloween, I dress up like Ric Flair. Trying, Rolex wearing, trying hard to keep these alligators down. I dress up like Ric Flair. I get everybody Snickers. I tell the kids, like, hey, listen, tell your parents to buy and sell with me. I can't keep affording these foot-long Snickers for you guys. So it's about always being involved in my community, doing events. I throw, a little party sponsored by EXP with a DJ. They know I'm in sales. The biggest thing I do, though, is I love where I live. And I'll post videos online about how much I love it. The basketball court, the turf football field, the turf baseball field, the pool. And I constantly remind people how much I love living there. And then I'll say things in my marketing when I send out to them, say, listen, when I list your home, I'm not just protecting your home value, I'm protecting mine. Who better to sell your home than someone who loves this community, someone who lives in this neighborhood and can speak to how great it is to live here. All right, that's really, really worked for me in dominating the neighborhood where I live. I take it as an insult if anybody in my neighborhood lists with another realtor. An absolute insult, right? And I take a little bit of joy when it doesn't sell at the price that I know I would have got for it, or a lot of times fast, because again, the majority of realtors, struggle because they don't get any training. They don't have any clue, bless their hearts. That's why we need Coach Analytics. Fridays, right? Fridays would always be my move my business forward days. So on Fridays, I will meet with 2 people. I will meet with 2 people that can move my business forward. One for coffee, one for lunch. This is the greatest thing I ever do for success. So I get what I call brand advocates. I meet with people and I ask them to push me in my sales. This helped me explode. I met with one guy. He owned a pizzeria. I just wanted to put my cards up. He ended up putting my face on his pizza boxes. Sunday for football. Don't drop the ball. List your home with Coach Dan, with me catching a football. Like 32 listings through football season for nothing. Didn't give him a penny. He just did it to help me because I asked how I could help him. Had a guy who I really love does power washing. I sat down with him. I said, what can I do to help you? He's like, well, hand out my card for power washing. And if people are getting their house power washed to list, he's like, I'll tell them I got this Bulldog realtor. That worked great for me for a year or 2 years. Then he got his real estate license. Now he works for me. He's a realtor with me. I still love him. He's my guy, but that really worked for me for a long time. Landscapers, anybody in the community, PTA, firemen, cops, teachers, whoever you think has impact and influence that can be a brand advocate for you, that can push you forward. So now not only am I doing all my marketing, doing all my mailers, doing all my energy, I'm also got people out there committed to helping me be successful. Because I took them somewhere nice to eat, I looked them in the eye, and I asked them to help me. No one is successful alone. No one, right? So this was huge for me as I built brand advocates throughout the community. I've gotten more business from the brand advocates than all the other stuff combined. 2 times a week, I sit down with people, usually on Fridays, sometimes a lunch and an early dinner. I spend maybe $100 at most. Right? $4,000 a year. It's the best money I've ever spent. I would rather do that than pay for 10,000 Zillow leads or any other kind of leads, right? It's ridiculous. Paying for leads is ridiculous. It's a trap. It's a game. Go out and get your own leads. Saturdays was always my get out in front of people day, right? On Saturdays, I would always get out in front of the public. Some examples. I took my lender, one of my favorite lenders. We went to the flea market, right? The flea market, $14 table. I got my EXP blanket, I got my signs, and I got a bullhorn. I stand up on top of the table with the bullhorn, and I just start yelling, who wants to buy a home today? Who wants the American dream? Other realtors tell you no. I tell you yes, right? I got a loan guy here who can get you approved in 30 seconds. Let's talk about it. If you've got bad credit, let's get you in credit repair. But I'm here to help you. If you want a house today, I want to show you a house today. All day long on a Saturday, 14 hours. right? 12 hours. No voice left at the end of the day. 62 people approved to buy a house that day. 62, not 6, not 2, 62. 62 clients from one day at a flea market, right? The average guy's not going to do that. But do you want to be average or do you want to be a fanatic? Some other examples, I would rent a booth in Morristown Mall. I'd sit there all day, little games, spin the wheel, get a $5 thing to Dunkin' Donuts, but you got to sign in. Once you sign in, you're in my CRM. I'm there forever. And I just talk to people as they walk by the booth. Hey, man, listen, what are we looking for? We're looking for a house in the Poconos, we're looking for a beach house. Where are we at in life? Guy turns around and goes, man, I wouldn't mind a vacation home. Boom, done. Another guy walks by, he's like, I got to sell my house down in Ocean County. You're not down there, are you? I was like, am I? Let's sell that house. Sold him that house, got him to Florida, right? It's just talking to people, getting in front of people, renting booths at carnivals, community days, whatever you can do on Saturdays to get in front of the most amount of people is what I'm going to do. It's about finding your people. It's about getting in front of most people. Sometimes I'll go to yoga on Saturdays. Sometimes I'll go to a bicycling class on Saturdays. Whatever it is, I'm going to get in front of the most amount of people as I can. One of my best realtors gets a majority of his business, a lot of his business from a climbing club. He goes and climbs on Saturdays, hands out his cars. He got a big poster there at the climbing club, right? It's whatever you can do to move your business forward. That's what it's about, right? And then Sundays, I was usually doing my open house. Wow, man, Coach Dan, man, it sounds like, sounds like you work a lot. Yeah, I do work a lot, right? Because in this country, we've somehow come up with this idea that you can work 4 hours and be successful. That's a bunch of hogwash. The fact is, to be successful, you got to be a dog and you've got to grind. I schedule time with my family, and during that time, I don't answer the phone, right? I fulfill my duties as a man, as a father. I coach high school basketball. I coach my kids' travel team. I'm there for my family. But the truth is this, I got time for nothing else. My friends, my family, my business, everything else. I don't have any hobbies. I don't play golf. I don't play tennis. I don't have any hobbies. My hobbies are success, my family, and my business. That's it. That's all I got time for. And my God, of course. All right. Praise Jesus. Little time in church, always good for the soul. But that's my daily habits for success. That's my routines each week. Absolute fanatic. I have a list of things that I do each day for success, and then each day has a theme day, and I get after it every single day. And if you sit down and you look at how many people you're touching a week, if your sales are not good, I guarantee you're not touching enough people. If you do a plan like this, you don't have to do exactly what I do. Just because it works for me don't mean it has to be this way for you, but you need a theme each day and a dedicated hours to each day of what you're doing. You've got to contact the most people a day and your sales will go up. If you're looking for magical fairy dust, you're a fool. The magical fairy dust is hard work, discipline, and a good business plan. And this is what I've done to help so many realtors. We've created 7 millionaires in the colony out of regular realtors, right? We know what we're doing works. If you're looking for that magical fairy dust, you're going to be looking forever. If you're dependent upon that broker to provide you with a couple leads, you're going to be dependent upon that broker forever. I hope they never leave, right? You want to be a self-sufficient realtor. You want to be a quality salesperson. You want to make enough money to change your life. You got to contact the most amount of people, right? If this helped you today, I'd love to hear from you. Shoot me some feedback. You can always go to my YouTube, like, subscribe, at Dan Williamson, 3797, right? Like, subscribe. You got contacts to any of my videos. A lot of times I'll do a daily sales tip on there. Would love to have you come check me out. We're on Apple Podcasts. We're all across the country now. I hope this podcast, we set out to change lives, to help people be the best version of themselves. The feedback has been incredible so far. I'm very thankful for all the messages and the comments. If you have questions about life, you can always email me at Dan Williamson, 605 at yahoo.com. Daniel Williamson, 605 at yahoo.com. I love to answer any question, any life coaching questions you have. If you want to book a one-on-one with me, if you're interested in joining the colony, becoming a realtor, working with us, right? That website is thecolonyexp.com, right? If you want to book a one-on-one with me, you can go to that site, book a one-on-one. I'd love to give you my time, whether it's life coaching, whether it's sales coaching, anything I can do to move your life forward, I will. Again, I'm happy to answer any questions. I get sent questions weekly. Not all of them will I share on the podcast, but for the good ones that I think will reach other people, if you've got any issues in life that you want some guidance on, I'm here to help you. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Coach Danalytics, preparing you for the game of life. I will promise you this. If you apply these daily habits and you apply this type of business plan, your sales will double and you will be one of the most successful salespeople in your company. I've never seen a person who actually followed these daily habits whose sales didn't skyrocket. When I go back in 6 weeks, 12 weeks, if they follow this plan or something similar, their sales skyrocket. If they didn't, their sales stay the same. The truth is, it's 20% me, it's 80% you. I can give you the plan, but you've got to get out and execute it. I know that you can. I know that you will. Till next time, I'm Dan Williamson. Enjoy.